Okay, another little tutorial on something we are all dealing with somehow, which is the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful anger. First, what might be mentioned, if you think about terms like aggression, it's labeled very negative. Because, especially when I think in the context of male energy, someone who is aggressive is thought to be dangerous to other, unsocial and whatever. Just briefly wanted to mention aggression comes from aggregere in Latin, which means to meet someone. And there's something, or to face someone, to meet and face someone. What we all do is we take space in our environment. We are born to earn ourselves a territory, a field of activities that is ours. And sometimes we do have competition with other humans about the same territory, or about the same job, or about one and the same woman, or the women about one and the same man. And then you have those encounters where universe needs to find decisions. And this is why we do have the ability to be aggressive, because it is a form of showing the seriousness of our demand towards the universe. We need that space. I need that flat. I need that piece of land. And it's giving us power to achieve what we need in the encounter with other humans. It's not a question whether we do fair play or not. Of course we do fair play and we acknowledge all the cosmic rules, but universe is giving space to those encounters that go into an open competition for something. And this is what the healthy aggression is all about. And but society doesn't like proactive people. Society loves people who stay eternal children and obey. So that adult quality of aggression is not really appreciated in society and wanted. So it's often suppressed or completely traumatized during childhood. And I find that mostly in abused women. This is kind of 90% of the aggression topics that needed healing were exactly there. And what I want to show you how to deal with this. If you, actually there are two possibilities. If you make someone decide to feel his aggression, it can be either in the aura, in the field, then nothing needs to be done. Then it's a flowing feeling. It can appear kind of in the blocked form in the solar plexus, appearing in form of a black stone, like tennis ball size, or even smaller, or dark red, blackish, or the blacker, the more suppressed it is. And what you actually need to do first is to introduce some loving energy and prana and life force into this hardened structure to make it fluffy. And the more prana and love you give into it, either you let the client do it himself, utilizing his own heart chakra and his own resources of energy, or you just apply your hand from 20 centimeters in front and back of the solar plexus, and you shoot energy into it, and you ask the client to observe the color of that stone and observe the size of it. And the more energy it gets, the brighter it shines. It goes from black to red to orange and sometimes to complete yellow. Then there's actually no real anger in storage anymore. And the next thing you can do is you can ask the client to expand that ball exactly to aura size. And this is a beautiful thing to do because it's not crossing any border. It all stays within the sovereignty of the one being. It is just like a defensive shield that is put into place to show everyone around, don't touch me in a way I don't like to be touched. Don't cross my border. If you cross my border, you will face aggression. You will face me saying stop. And having that shield, that presence, that energy in your field is preventing so much conflict and border crossing behavior that I can just call it a beautiful tool of nature. It shows you till here and not a single step further. You can feel that when you approach people, like coming close to someone normally, 30 centimeters 1 hour, 30 centimeters the other hour, 60 centimeter is the aggregate, the meeting distance of two shielded humans. So they bump into each other, they will always have that gap in between as a gesture of mutual respect. If you feel someone that doesn't have that bumper, that distance keeper in his field, and you just straight run into him, you realize, okay, anger is suppressed, and on the forehead there's a big sign saying, I'm a victim. Abuse me, because I don't have my defenses on. There's one extra form where the anger can be if you don't find it in the body. And this is mostly in karmic setups. If a human has experienced a lifetime where he abused his vital forces completely, will, lust and anger, and lived a lifetime where many other humans were suffering from heavily, the spirit might make the decision never ever again to risk to accumulate so much perpetrator trauma. Because it's as painful for the soul to cause pain as it is to suffer pain. Because at the end we are all one, and this is not like that the perpetrator doesn't feel what's happening, he's just not aware that he feels it. So perpetrator trauma is quite serious, not that easy to solve like victim trauma, and no spirit wants to accumulate more than necessary. So sometimes a spirit says, mostly after reincarnation, never ever again. And then all the vital forces are split off, and they become a separate being. And they all look alike somehow. If you fuse those three powers, you look something that looks like Balrog, the Balrog in Lord of the Rings, the fire dragon. And you can actually, if you meet in the astral realm, if you meet someone that doesn't have his vital forces up and running, but he can visualize and see a Balrog in his vicinity when he calls for his vital forces. You can do an integration ceremony where you basically make your peace with those forces, realize that subordinated under the heart chakra there are absolutely beautiful divine tools, will and anger, to make sure that divine order is respected. And I don't need to talk about lust. Everyone knows how beautiful it can be. Everyone also knows how destructive it can be if it is missing compassion. And this is when it's not subordinated under the heart chakra. So, calling that Balrog in, like breathing him into the heart chakra, re-energizing him if he needs energy until client and Balrog are on the same energetic level, breathing him in, welcoming him in love, allowing him to settle in the lower chakras, and then do the same trick, align the lower chakras, put them under the guidance and control of the heart chakra to make sure that vital forces don't become something abusive.